They are. And this Friday we have all the games in Catawba County. In 3AA, there's only one team in this area that's in the playoffs that we're going to talk about from Catawba County. And then we're going to go through the entire 2AA bracket, tell you everything you need to know about the teams in the 2AA bracket, because that's where the majority of the Catawba County teams are in this bracket, Zach.
That's right. And by the way, make sure to stay tuned for the entire episode. You're going to want to see who your team is going to be playing against if they are able to win this upcoming Friday.
That's a very good point, Zach. And with that being said, let's get started. We'll start in the small 3A. Congratulations to Fred T. Ford with their wins Friday. They finished 6-5 overall. Their head football coach turned 50 Sunday. They celebrated by getting in the state playoffs. And who did they draw? Well, no drum roll needed. They get number 6 seeded South Point, Zach, the Red Raiders, and this is going to be a tough game as the Tigers have to travel to Belmont.
That's right, Curtis. Fred T. Ford is making a playoff appearance. They really want to get a win in the playoffs.
Yes.
It's going to be very tough. South Point is a very good team. I don't know if they'll be able to do it, but you have to tune in to find out.
You hear the name South Point, you know about the mystique and the success that their football program has had. All right, let's move on to the 2AA bracket. This is the top half of the bracket. The number 1 seed is the Mustangs of East Lincoln. They went 11-0 overall, 7-0, wrapped up the Southern District 7 Conference. They will face from Silva Webster, the Mustangs of Smoky Mountain, who went 2-9 overall and 1-6. Zach, no question here. East Lincoln should get it done.
East Lincoln should pull this one far ahead. There should be no contest for this one, but last year we had an upset, 16th seed be a top-ranked seed, and it can always happen. But statistically speaking, East Lincoln should pull away with that one.
We're going to talk about that here just momentarily. They will face either the number 8 seeded Bandy's Trojans, who went 8-3 overall, 5-2 in the Southern District 7, or the number 9 seeded Hilltoppers, I bet you didn't know that, of RS Central High School, the South Mountain Athletic Conference, who went 2-9 overall and 1-6. And if Bandy's can come, which they will most likely beat RS Central, if they come out of here and get East Lincoln, you remember what almost happened last year in the opening round of the state playoffs, Zach.
That's right. Last year, Curtis, Maiden thought they were going to be playing Bandy's in the second round of the playoffs. Unfortunately, East Lincoln pulled it out. But this year, Bandy's could get redemption for that last year's playoff game, and they're going to be hunting for it.
All roads may possibly look to East Lincoln and Bandy's in the second round, and that could be a very, very good number 1 versus number 8 game. The other game we're going to talk about is our feature game. It's a rematch of a Southern District 7 game. It's the Lincoln Wolves, 9-2 overall, finished second place in the Southern District 7 at 6-1 versus Newton Conover, 7-3-1 overall, 4-3 in the Southern District 7, The Red Devils are slipping here of late, and they get a rematch with the Wolves in the Wolves' Den, Zach.
You almost, if you're a Newton Conover fan, you are so glad that this is your playoff game. Mm-hmm. A big chance for revenge, and no better place to do it than in the playoffs. They're going to have to travel to Lincoln this time. Last time the game was at Gurley Stadium. This time they're going to be going to the Wolves' Den. Mm-hmm. Hard to win there. Very hard place to play. Newton could do it if they started playing like they did at the beginning of the season. Like you said, Curtis, they're slacking off. Mm-hmm. They're not playing very well. Yes. This Lincoln team has picked up their game as of late, and they are playing phenomenally well. If Newton Conover is going to have a chance, they're going to have to show it this Friday night.
I think whoever wins this game is going to advance not only to the second round, but I think the winner of this game goes to probably the third round, whoever wins this game. But Newton Conover has got to pull it together. They are not playing very well. They have lost 2 of their last 3 games, and they need to bounce back, and this would be a perfect way to do that. The number 4 seed, Gastonia Hunter the Huskies. They're in at 4-7 overall. They went 4-3 in their conference. They'll face the team you were talking about last year, the number 16 seed, which was Parkwood last year. They upset the number 1 seed of Franklin Panthers. They're the 13 seed this year, Zach, 6-5 overall, 2-3 in the conference. Could the Parkwood Rebels, I think that's their mascot. Could they be the 13 seed that makes a run this year yet again?
Well, like I said, they did it last year, and they're certainly aiming to do it again. But unlike last year, they'll have to play most likely Lincoln, and that team, like I said before, is a very good team. A lot of ways to score on you, mostly on the ground. They are deep at the running back position. Very hard team, but Parkwood could pull another upset in the first round of playoffs.
This is a definite team to watch out for, Parkwood, because of what they did last year and the fact that they just play so well once they get to the postseason. Bottom half of the bracket, the number 3 seeded Huskies of Ashe County, 9-1 overall, 6-1 in their conference. They'll take on the Maiden Blue Devils, and everybody in Maiden kept saying, I don't think they'll be in the playoffs. Maiden will not be in the playoffs. I called that one. Maiden is in the playoffs, folks. 5-6 overall, 2-5 in the Southern District 7. They get to travel to West Jefferson to take on the Huskies. Zach, your Blue Devils, a shot here at maybe redemption.
Well, Curtis, if you're going to win, now's the time. Playoffs is the place to do it. A lot of people are kind of iffy about this Ashe County team. They're not really sure what they're going to bring to the game. All that people know is that they are 9-1 overall, so they're pretty good in their conference. But how good is their conference is what people want to know.
Right.
Maiden has a chance to advance to the second round of the playoffs, which would be phenomenal because, like you said, a lot of people didn't think they'd even make the playoffs.
Yeah, that's true. And considering they did make the playoffs, makes the season just that much more better than it has been for Maiden. But Ashe County's played Wilkes Central. They played East Wilkes, North Wilkes. The competition, with the exception of maybe Wilkes Central, who's also in the playoffs, and teams like maybe East or West Wilkes, teams that aren't as strong as the teams that Maiden's played in this conference, are the teams that they have faced. And last year, Ashe County was knocked out of the first round by Catawba County School. They were beaten by Bunker Hill in the first round last year. They will face Maiden, if they win, either the number 6 seeded Red Hawks of Monroe at 7-4 overall, 4-1 in the conference. You know that very well, Monroe, how good they are. Or number 11 seeded High Point TW Andrews High School at 5-5 overall, 3-2, and all roads may look to Monroe in this bottom half of the bracket, Zach.
That's right, Curtis. If Maiden wins, they'll have to travel another long road down to Monroe, and like Curtis said, Monroe is a very, very skilled team. They can score on you through the air and on the ground. So, if Maiden is able to upset the Ashe County High School, they'll probably be going to Monroe to face an even better team in the second round of the playoffs.
It doesn't get any easier than that. All right, last two in the 2AA is number 7 seeded West Stokes. They went 7-4 overall, 4-1 in their conference. They will face the number 10 seeded Yellow Jackets of Forest Hills High School. They went 5-6 overall and 3-2 in their conference. And to round out the 2AA bracket, Franklin, the Panthers, are in Maiden's half of the bracket. They are 11-0 overall, 7-0. They won their conference championship, a 2A-3A conference, the Western Athletic Conference up in the mountains. And they will face Wilkes Central, who lost to Ashe County earlier in the year. Wilkes Central, the Eagles, went 4-7 overall, 4-3 in the conference. But overall, that bottom half of the bracket, and you and I both think, this is our upset pick, you and I both think Maiden is going to upend Ashe County in that opening round. We both think that they can get it done.
I think if they get hot, they could even give Monroe a run for their money if they get hot and on the same page. That's what I'm saying there. But like you just said, the Franklin right there, I think that they might be state championship contenders. They're very good.
Considering what happened last year, they had a 30-minute delay against Parkwood. They were the 1 seed. Someone had a power pole, knocked power out of the town and stadium, which delayed, something like you saw in the Super Bowl 2 years ago. It delayed the game for 30 to 45 minutes, and then they ended up losing on top of that. So they're anxious to get back, win a first-round playoff game, and advance to the next round. But if Maiden can win these 2 games, then it's most likely unbeaten Franklin. But let's not get ahead of ourselves. In the playoffs, it's survive and advance. That's a look at the 2AA bracket. That's a look at the Catawba County schools that are in the state playoffs. Best of luck to everybody in the opening round of the state playoffs. And Zach, with that being said, I'm going to turn it over to you to let you promote the page and to promote the Catawba Valley Blitz.
Also, just to let everybody know, we're going to keep doing our sports cast as long as there is a Catawba Valley team in the playoffs. That being said, if you haven't already, go like us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Check out our website at www.catawbavalleyblitz.com. Download the mobile app. As always, I'm Zach Hensley. This is Curtis Sharp. Enjoy the football Friday night.